Va'oichel kayan katan, and she could feed the challah. She can separate the challah and feed it to a kayan that's a child. Kayan child means that he was never became tummy, never had a mission, so he's assumed to be tummy, to be tahar. So you can feed it to a child, or a gadol. One of the commentaries says that went to the mikveh. I saw in Tosfos. The ileka kayan katan, and if there is no kayan that's a child, so what should she do? Shakla b'reish masa v'shadi b'tanura. She puts it on the end of a skewer. Thank you. And she throws it into the oven. Why on the end of a skewer? She could touch it and throw it in the oven. Well, you try to minimize the contact, even though it's allowed. And v'hadar mafresh chala achriti, but then she should separate other challah. Ki hechel tishtakach teres challah va'oichel kain gadol. She should separate another challah and feed it to a kayan that's a gadol, because there's no child there. It's an older couple, and there's no child there. So just so she remembers that there's a concept of truma, she should separate it, even though it won't be treated as truma mamish, because the kayan gadol didn't go to the mikveh and all of that. Not a kayan gadol. Kayan, that's an adult. So she's going to have two challahs, one that's going to get eaten, just so she remembers they have to separate and give it, and the other one that's going to get burnt as the din. Which one is the main one? I guess the main one is the one that gets burnt. The other one is just so she should remember. Rav Nachman, Rav Amram, Rami Bar Chama.
We don't do that.
No, because this is only in the lands that are close to Eretz Yisrael. Our Chutz La'aretz is mamish outside of Chutz La'aretz.
But what do they do in Eretz Yisrael nowadays?
In Meir Sharim, they had a big debate. People were taking challah and putting it in garbage. So why are you getting rid of it? What's the problem? The problem is then when they have demonstrations against the draft, they burn the garbage cans. So some Rabbanim said you're getting hanan now from the challah when you smell it. So they debated whether people could continue to throw it out in the garbage cans.
Then they said that there's a problem because people throw out the garbage. They throw their leftover milk and also the leftover meat into the garbage. Then when they burn it, they're cooking basar b'chalav, which you're not allowed to do.
Rock the Yisrael.
Maybe that was what you were saying, Dr.
We're going off topic.
No, you were talking about doing two challahs, giving separate.
Maybe that's what
it's referring to. Separate twice.
I'm not sure. You have to go through this Tosfos pasuk. What? Oh my gosh! No, this is it's smaller. Okay, so we have these three sages: Rav Nachman, Rav Amram, and Rami Bar Chama. I thought Rav Nachman would be older than Rami Bar Chama. And Havika Asli Ba'arba. They were going on a boat. Salak Rav Amram Lafnuya. Rav Amram went to the side to use the restroom. Asoi Hahiyetza. This woman showed up. Alas Kamayo. Asoi Hahiyetza Alas Kamayo. This woman came up in front of them. Amra Lahu. She said to them, Tami Meis, someone that's impure from a corpse. Maushi Yitbal. Can he go to the mikveh? Vaychal Chumas Chutz La'aretz and eat Chuma from Chutz La'aretz. Amlu Rav Nachman Rami Bar Chama. So Rav Nachman says to Rami Bar Chama, she's not. This person is not getting purified anyway with the sprinkling of the paraduma, so of course there's no problem. We're not working towards purifying tumas meis. That's not our issue. It doesn't even have to wait for Herav Shemesh. It's just a kohen that didn't have a bodily tumah, so he's allowed to eat it. Don't you want to wait for the old man, referring to Rav Amram, to come back before we start giving out answers? Adahachi, meanwhile, Asa Rav Amram. Rav Amram returns. Amar Lahu, he says to him, Hachi Amar Rav. So says Rav. So Rav Amram is old and This must be 3 generations here. Rav Nachman must be older than Rami Bar Chama. Let's look at the chart. Here's Rami Bar Chama here. He's in the generation of Rava. Rav Nachman is up here.
Well, that's quite a bit.
Unless it's a Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak.
It says it's Rav Nachman Bar Yaakov.
Rav Nachman Bar Yaakov is
And
up
he
here.
was from the 2nd or 3rd generation, and Rami Bar Chama was from the 4th generation.
Right. So it's interesting that Rami Bar Chama is ready to tell Rav Nachman, don't you want to wait for the elder, which, like the elder must have been just a few years older than Rav Nachman, because Rav Amram is a student of Rav also.
So he's a bit older.
So, Amalahu Hachiyam Rav Tami Meis Tevel Vaycha B'Trumas Chutz La'aretz. A tummy mace is not a problem. He can go to the mikveh, and he doesn't need the same answer. The Gemara then concludes, which is very interesting. But the halacha is not like him. Who says this? Rashi says Hashas Kamahadale. It's the Gemara. Damar Marzutra Mishmei Rav Sheshes Tamei Sheretz Tevel Vaychel B'Trumas Chutz La'aretz V'Lasilchas Hakavasei. Something's funny. Amar Mar is supposed to say. Amar Marzutra, not the Amar Marzutra. A new statement that Marzutra says in the name of Rav Sheshes that a Tamei Sheretz can go to the mikveh as well, but the halacha is not like, the Gemara concludes that the halacha is not like him. Okay. Bechor Nechal Shana B'Shana. We learned in the Mishnah that a Bechor is eaten year by year. We translated that to mean that he's eaten in his first year. And you can hold it, though, until the end of the year. And after the end of the year, then you can't really hold it unless you're holding it for under 30 days. That's what we learned. Okay. Now it says, Midaka Amar Noiled by Mum B'Toich Shenasai. From the fact that the Mishnah says that if it got a mum within its first year, that you can hold it till the end of the year. It must be that what do we consider a year? We consider a year its own birthday, not the year. We're saying Kol Shnei Masar Chodesh, all 12 months. We're talking about its own 12 months. Now, why does it have to be like that?
Because so many other things, we count New Year's for things
Right.
from a specific date.
Right.
But here it depends on the animal.
Yeah, I'm asking, why, how does the Gemara know this from the words of the Mishnah? Maybe it means all 12 months means until Elul or something. I'm not sure. Minani Mili, but how do we know that this is the case? Damar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. Rav Yehuda says in the name of Rav Damar Kra, Lefnei Hashem Alekecha Teichlenu Shana B'Shana. Before Hashem your God, you eat it year by year. Ezu Shana Shenichnasa B'Chaveret. We're looking at Shana B'Shana. A year in a year. We're looking at the Bais to be translating as in a year. What's a year in a year? Haviyomer Shana Shel Bechar. We would say it's the year of a Bechar, which means if the Bechar's birthday, the animal's birthday, enters into the next year, so it's a year. It's for itself. It's its first year, even though it's crossed the year, the calendar year. Even though it's crossed the calendar year, it's still considered. So it's a year within its year in the next year. The Bei Rav Tana, Shana B'Shana. Is that supposed to be the Bei Rav? Yeah. The Bei Rebbe Tana, in the house of Rebbe was taught Shana B'Shana. What does that mean? Yomi Echad B'Shana Zu, Yomi Echad B'Shana Zu. That you can eat it one day from this year and one day from the next year. That means if you slaughter it on its birthday, you have today to eat it and you have tomorrow to eat it, even though that's the next year. Limit ala bechar shenechal sneim v'layla echad. This tells us that a bechar is eaten for 2 days, which that we know. A bechar is eaten for 2 days. The Bei Rav Mana. I have to make a correction here. Well, the Bei Rebbe minalahu. How does Rebbe know that you can eat a bechar for 2 days? Yalfi mikachim. You learn from kachim. other sacrifices, kachim, like how do we know? Oh, what the Gemara is asking is, how does Rabbi know that you count to its own birthday? Because it just said that Shana B'Shana means that it's eaten for 2 days. How does he know that you use its own birthday? Because he doesn't learn like Rabbi Yehuda Marav that says Shana B'Shana means that you use its own birthday.
You really could think this through logically. We don't need a pasuk because we can't bring an animal before it's 8 days old, right? So if you had an arbitrary date on the calendar, you had animals that are 8 days, and that would be a problem.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Because if it would cross the calendar line,
What if it's born 4 days before whatever
Right.
calendar line? Then it wouldn't work.
right, that's a good point.
Here it says a Bechor has to be eaten within its first year, whether it's blemished or unblemished. If it's unblemished, the year begins when the animal's 8 days old and it's fit to be a korban. If the animal's blemished, then the year begins from the day it's born.
Right, but it would still be the issue.
Yeah.
Now the Gemara asks, okay, so Rebbe is learning from Kachim that you follow its own birthday. Kachim gufayim minalan. Amar Rav Acha bar Yaakov. How do we know Kachim itself? You follow its own birthday. Amar Kra. It says in the pasuk, Keves ben Shnasai. Shnasai Shalai. Its own birthday. V'loi shana shel minyan oilam, but not the birthday of the world. Okay, so the house of Rebbe knows both things. They know you follow its own birthday, and you also know it's eaten for 2 days. V'rav nechel l'shneim v'layla echad minalei. Where does Rav know that a Bechor is eaten for 2 days? Rav knew Shana B'Shana, tells me its own birthday. What about the 2 days part? Nafkalei me ubesaram yel lecha kechazei hatnufa k'shei kayamin. We compare it to the chazei hatnufa and the sheik, which is by a korban shlamim. Hikishu akasav lechazav sheik shlamim, just like a shlamim. There's a comparison here. Okay, so now Rav knows the Shana B'Shana tells me its birthday, and the 2 days I learned from Shlamim. V'idach, what does the other one do? Rebbe, what does he do with Mi Basar Mielach? He doesn't need Shana B'Shana. We know it from the comparison to Shlamim. Yimei Hasam, Rebbe would say, Iklamei Merchazav Sheik Shal Taida. When it says Kechazei Tzunufa in Sheik Hayamin, I would have said that it's a korban toida comparison. The korban toida is only eaten 1 day. V'idach, so we go back to Rav. How do you know it's a shlamim, not a tamar? Kra l'chayya haisef l'cha hakasav avaya acheres bebechar. It says it should be for you, so we know that there's for you means that we're giving you something extra, an extra day. V'idach, Rabbi, what would he do? What's that phrase? Take out Hami Hasam Ikalameimar. You have to skip 4 words. Limed al Bechor Balmum Shanaisna Lakayan. This teaches us that Lacha, that it's for you, means that a Bechor that has a blemish goes to the Kayan. Shleimatino le Bechol Terakula. We don't find anything like that in the whole Torah, that you just give something to the Kayan, automatically it becomes his property. It becomes his with just a sacrifice. V'idach, what does the other one do? He says, L'cha tells me 2 days. 2 days and a night. How do you know that you give a mum, B'chor mum to the Kayan? So he says, Ubesaram, and its flesh, Echad tam v'echad balmum. Whether it's a tam or a balmum, it goes to from the Ubesaram, tells me that. How do I see from Ubesaram?
Because it's plural.
Oh. It was telling me both. Okay, thank you. V'idach, the other one, ubesaram dahani bechors to kol Yisrael kamar. The plural is telling me all the firstborns of the Jewish people. It's not telling me both balmum and bechor. It's telling me the general, all of the bechoros. Okay. Shikayach.
Shkaya.